Okay, so this is a little chaotic because they have to get accustomed to both the electric fence and their new feeding area. So they're coming in but trying not to hit the fence, because if you hit the fence, you hear a squeal. And the squeal for us means it works. Fence works, okay? Fence works. But once they've figured it out, we spread out the troughs and the containers with feed all the way down, because we want everybody to be able to get access to the feed at the same time. So they'll figure it out slowly but surely that they can eat, but they should not touch the fence. And if you notice, the mamas are eating out of the small bowls for the babies. But hey, yep, every squeal, fence works. It's a process. It's a process. Takes them a couple days to get accustomed to it, and then once they've figured it out, that's it. That's it. Lot to be thankful for this year. We had 48 born, 46 survived. We lost 2. That's not unusual. We had 2 mamas that lost 1. One from the litter of 17. So the mama raised 16, which is excellent. And then one from a litter of 10, the mama raised 9. But that run really came out very poorly, the last one. I don't think it lasted a couple days. It didn't make it. But the other 2 mamas, one had 11, and all of them made it, and the other one had 10, and all of them are doing well. So a lot to be thankful for. This is our piglets for our 2026-2027 year. And then next year we'll do the same thing all over again for the following year's piglets. Head in the bowl. Yeah, they're figuring it out. It's a little process. Some are still in the burn pile. But their mamas are moving over here slowly. Yeah, every time somebody gets hit, then they, run off. But, yeah. And so what we're going to do is a fence line wean. We will separate the mamas, and we will move them into an area that is 1 pen over, and then we will keep the babies in here. We'll leave them there like that for 3, 4, 5 days, maybe even a week. And so the mamas can see their babies, the babies can see their mamas, but the electric fence will be between them, and so they won't be able to go through and get to the mamas. And then eventually what we'll do is we'll get the babies moving in the opposite direction. But they will all be in this. It's approximately 4 acres that we're going to raise them on right in the front. And we also have another 4 acres in the back that we could do another group of pigs. But right now this is the ones that we're doing. And so the mamas will be here. Hank is in the back. That's the daddy. He's over there right now. And we won't bring him back over here till next May. I think we might start a little earlier in May. This year we started May 15th was when we put them together. I think that we may start on the 1st of May, because we really would like to be done with this before Thanksgiving. We would like to get them moving in their own areas, understanding the rotation, doing stuff like that before Thanksgiving. But we keep the grass pretty high. We'll also throw down hay bales or straw for them to bed down when they go into the paddock area. We do not give them a shelter. We don't. And generally they don't have a shelter, but we do give them hay or straw to make a good deep bed. And then they just cuddle all together. And we get cold and we do get snow. If we're going to get really, really cold with prolonged snow, like 2 weeks of snow, then we'll bring them back to this area where we can let them have shelter, you know. But generally speaking, they do very well in the pasture without any extra shelter. Just a little extra hay or tall grass. The tall grass works really well to break the wind, and they do make amazing beds for themselves. So you don't have to worry about them. And we're raising our animals to be hardy. We are not babysitting these animals at all. Nobody was out here when any of these mamas delivered. And it's really weird. It's like they all did it on a Saturday morning, with the goal of doing it when we're not here, or, overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning. But yeah, they did fantastic. All by themselves, delivered all their babies without any problems. Now, I'm not saying that a mama couldn't have a problem. But generally speaking, this group, Meishan, this breed, is known for taking care of that process. And they did. They proved it. They had all of their babies without any intervention from us. Just us not knowing when they were going to have the babies, because the way we put Hank in, we put him in and we leave him there for 3 months. And we're very glad that we left him there for 3 months, because as you notice, the first litter was born September 19th. The fourth one was November 22nd, I think. So, he needed that time. And we wanted to make sure that everybody got bred. So that's how we did it. We gave them a good time to do it, and he did it. Now, hopefully, next year, it will happen a lot sooner, and you will see them come together. Hopefully, they can get their ovulation synced, and we can see, them being born within 2 to 3 weeks. They have a 21-day cycle, so 3 weeks would be perfect. If we could get down to that. But hey, it worked. A couple months, and they did it. Waylon seems to be just about done with north side of the paddock area. He's just throwing some old hay in to give them extra bedding, and they've found where the food is. So in the morning when they get up, they can come out here and have something to eat. And usually our routine now is they'll be getting pumpkins in the morning, and then we'll feed them in the evening. So that's our current routine. This week, oh, they're in for a treat because we have to take some lettuce out of the high tunnel. So they'll also get some lettuce that has started to bolt, and that will supplement their diet. And anything that is left over from market, we also bring in and, you know, share with them. So nothing goes to waste. That's our goal on the farm. Really want closed system and making sure nothing is going to waste. So it will be fun to see where they select to bed down, and you know, where they decide is their latrine, and just whether they decide to do it all three mamas together, or they're going to be separate. It's totally up to them. One of the things that we'll tell you is that after about a week of being together, once a mama lays down, the babies will go to any mother and have milk. But as I said, I'm hoping that the moms start weaning them now. All of the babies have been eating well, so it's not a matter of that. They all eat, they all do all their things properly. So now it's just a matter of the mama weaning them, and if the mama doesn't wean them, then we will fence line wean them. But yeah. So Wellen has covered, so they now have a new layer of hay on top of all the straw and manure to bed down on. But I will tell you that because we added so much biochar in there with the straw when they were in the confined 10 by 10 area, there is no odor, you know. And that was at one point 40 piglets, 44 in a 20 by 20 square foot area, and absolutely no odor. So now we will get some odor once it gets soggy outside, and sometimes there is a little whiff and you will smell it, but it really is not as bad as some pigsties. That's something that we pride ourselves in. We really want to make sure that our neighbors don't smell our pigs. That is very important, because that means that they're in a very hygienic situation, right? Well, it looks like Wellen is making his way out of the pen. We know the electric fence is working. We're going to let them just get accustomed to the place and settle down.